Hey guys, my name is Adil Qureshi, and this is my presentation for ENGI 2304, Technical Communications, and specifically, my presentation is about engineering ethics and why it's so important to have public safety come first. Alright, so let me introduce you guys to the story, let me put you in it. You're a structural engineer, and you're working on a bridge, and on this bridge, deadlines are coming up, and your politicians want it to be completed, so your supervisor, and the city wants to use it for a major public event, right? But as you're doing the final reviews of this bridge, you realize there are some safety concerns. Under heavy crowd loads, the bridge doesn't live up to safety standards. So you take this concern to your supervisor, and he's just like, psh, it'll be okay, nothing will happen, right? But now you're in a dilemma. You're in a pickle. You're like, what do I do? Do I push back from what my supervisor said? It could cost more money, it could lose me my job, and it could push back deadlines, or do I just go with my supervisor and be like, psh, it'll be okay, right? So this is where the engineering code of ethics come in, right? Now, who are these made by? NSPE. What is NSPE? National Society of Professional Engineers, right? Now they're a professional organization, and they represent engineers. And what is their main purpose? Their main purpose is to promote ethical standards. Right, so NSPE made the Code of Ethics, right? So what is the Code of Ethics? It's guidelines of professional conduct, right? Now there are three parts to the Code of Ethics, right? The first are the fundamental canons. These are basic guidelines. Second part are the rules of practice. These are more specific expectations. And the last are the professional obligations, right? These are responsibilities for professionals, engineers, specifics. Now, I'm going to be going over the first fundamental canon because I think it's one of the, if not the most important part of the Code of Ethics. Right, so fundamental canon 1. I'm going to read it line for line, word for word. Hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public. Now, this might seem like a simple sentence. It's short, but it's really powerful, so I'm going to break it down. All right, first part of the sentence, hold paramount. What does that mean? What does hold paramount mean? All right. Hold paramount means to put it above, right? Above profit, above deadlines, above employer pressure, right? Safety is important. Second part, safety, health, welfare. Self-explanatory. You want to be safe in your engineering projects, and you want to be safe for the general public's well-being. All right. Now, last part of the sentence, of the public, right? Now, you're not just serving your client, your boss, employer, you're serving everybody, right? Because if a project goes into production, it's made, it could affect people. So, not just clients, everybody. Now, let me give you a real world example of the fundamental canon 1 being violated, right? So, FIU, Florida International University, had a bridge made in 2018. And now this bridge actually collapsed because there were some design concerns, and the engineers that were building it, or whoever was in charge, looked over these concerns and just let it go on, right? It was still being used, and because of that, the bridge actually collapsed, and it led to fatalities, 6 fatalities, and many other people being injured, right? So this is a violation of that canon 1, right? Now, why does this matter? All right, engineering is a public trust. People want to trust engineering, right? Things are out in the world, and you're not going to be concerned. You don't want to be concerned about if things are going to work or if I'm going to be safe, right? You want to know that you're safe, so it's standard, right? And safety is not optional, right? You're not going to want to use an engineering product, anything you use, and you don't want it to like explode in your face, right? So it's not an optional thing. You want everything to be safe. Right, now let's loop this back into the story I put you in, right? After learning the Code of Conduct and understanding the importance, it's really clear what the right option is, right? You want to put the safety of other people, of everyone, first. So even though you might not want to upset your boss, the option of pushing back, might affect the deadlines, might cost more, but it's safer, right? So that's what's the right thing to do. Now here are my citations, NSPE code, the FIU article, and I'm going to put my video presentation link here. All right, thank you.